When you a diamond in the rough, bitch, all you need is time. I ain't lying. Look, hey, they don't wanna see you shine. Got on my grind, ran up my back, and got a piece of mind. I ain't lying. Look, hey, they don't wanna see you shine. When you a diamond in the rough, bitch, all you need is time. I ain't lying.
Yo, what's up, world? We back. This your boy K Mitch. It's another episode. Matter of fact, it's episode not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 5 on the Social Currency Podcast. And I have none other than, before I get into that, like, this is a monumental episode because this is it's a milestone because we have our first lady. So she'll officially be like the first lady of the Social Currency Podcast from here to this point moving forward. But I won't continue to babble on. I have none other than Miss Turner in the building. What's up, y'all? Y'all give it up for Miss Turner, man. We got her in the building. Thank you for stopping to the Social Currency Podcast. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Man,
I'm so honored to be the first lady.
First lady. You know what I'm saying? It's like presidential shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my president is black type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what's up, man. We definitely glad to have you on our platform, on our podcast. Obviously, you make it what you doing. You adding equity to the culture. You giving people game. You giving people ways to monetize these different situations and opportunities that you got going on. So we want to shed some light on that. But before we do that, tradition that we have here at the Social Currency Podcast is we like to give each and every guest their roses, but the way that we do is a little bit different. So not only are we going to give you your rose to acknowledge the fact what you're doing out here in the streets to help your people and doing it for yourself, but also acknowledge the fact and appreciate how you managed to turn your pain into champagne. Now, I've been kind of doing my research on you, and you have a hell of a backstory that I can't wait to get into, and it's super inspiring. So here at the Social Currency Podcast, we just want to show our appreciation and give you this bottle of Bel Air Rosé. You know what I'm saying? As a token of our appreciation for being on our platform, turning your pain into champagne, and also us giving you your rose. So, hey, y'all clap it up one more time for Miss Turner, man. And look, we about to do something different because I told y'all this is a monumental episode. This is the first time that we actually going to pop the champagne live, so I'm going to let you do the honors. You want to go and pop it? Or you want me to pop it?
I want you to pop it.
Boom,
I'm not too sure.
Let's go. Hey, and it's Black History Month, so I got some Bel Air Rosé. You know, we supporting Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing Moet this month. We'll get back to y'all in March. But in February, you know, we drinking black-owned champagne, so we might have some Ace of Spade. Jay make Ace of Spade, huh? Yeah, we might have some Ace of Spade next time. But we're gonna do this Bel Air Rosé.
Let's
you know what I'm saying? Because we
got
the biggest boss in the building, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about Rick Ross. I'm talking about Miss Turner. You know what I'm saying? Y'all here? It's a celebration anytime you post champagne. So what we gonna do? Because I am a gentleman. We'll switch. That's yours.
Okay, thank you.
And boom. Oh yeah. So we got the bubbly. So it's about to get spooky out here in a minute. I hope y'all tuned in, y'all listening, man, because the game she about to give y'all is gonna be upper echelon like the champagne we about to drink here. So we're gonna keep this right here. We're gonna mark it for Rosé today. So look, y'all, we're gonna dive right into the episode because I know y'all interested in hearing what this beautiful lady has to say. So I've been doing a lot of research on you, preparing for the interview, and I noticed that you do spend a lot of time between Houston and LA. So which city did you spend most of your childhood in, and how did these two cities influence your hustle and your entrepreneurial spirit?
So I spent my whole life, so I'm 27, so I spent 27 years in LA. I grew up in LA. LA is my home. And I decided to move to Houston because I felt that I was too comfortable in my hometown.
Got you.
I felt like there was more opportunity for me outside of my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And another reason why I left LA was I started to feel, and it's really sad to say, but I feel like a lot of people feel hate from their own hometown.
Yeah.
So right before I left LA to come to Houston, my cars were getting targeted. They were getting egged. So I just felt that not only did I need to expand my environment, but I just felt that I outgrew my environment, and people were seeing that.
For sure. It's a testament, too, when people, because I've always been taught that if they ain't hating on you, you ain't doing something right. So the fact that they was egging your car mean that you was on the right track,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and you was doing something very positive that, created a jealous type of emotion to people you know what I'm saying, they had to react in that way. But one thing I did kind of want to shed the light on is what you said, is that people get a lot of hate in their hometown. And we have had an influx of rappers getting killed in their hometown. So let me ask you this, we're going to kind of veer off topic for a minute, but why do you think that people endure so much hate where they're from and they get so much love in other places?
Because where you're from, right? Everybody saw you before your success.
Yeah.
Right? So people that I grew up with in LA, they saw me before I started any type of business.
Yeah.
They saw me as their equal,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you start to outgrow people and become successful and it shows, right? So all of a sudden, you know, people who grew up with me who felt like they were on the same level, now they're looking at me like, how all of a sudden she knows about cars, all of a sudden she know about credit, all of a sudden. So I feel, well, my opinion is that people start to feel their that they lack in themselves when they see
sure.
that somebody who has come from the exact same environment that they're in has made it out in
Yeah.
a way. So they feel that jealousy and it projects.
Yeah,
Versus when
for
I
sure.
come to somewhere like Houston, you know,
Don't nobody
they
know
don't know
you.
me. They only know
Yeah.
me for my success. So
Exactly.
they're not holding that. They have no idea who I was before the success. They
Yeah.
only see me as a successful person, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
that's their initial impression of you, because they don't know
Exactly.
anything else, right? And that's interesting that you said that, because I do feel the exact same way. Like, your ascension, whenever
Mhm.
you're dealing with people who knew you before you started to get on your ascension,
Mhm.
your ascension becomes their mirror, right? And they're forced to look at that mirror and face who they are as a person, right? Because no longer is where we come from an excuse, because you did it,
Mhm.
right? So then that's what creates the envy and the jealousy, is because, damn, like you said, your people in LA, they could be looking at you like, damn, you know, we both went to the same high school in
Yep.
Gardena. You know what I'm saying? We both grew up in the same neighborhood, but now she here, she got 10, 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers on Instagram. I got 100, you know what I'm saying? And your ascension is a reflection of their failure or their complacency. And a lot of people deal with that in a jealous and envious way. So that's interesting that you say that, because I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes.
But I also feel that, you know, we can take that emotion and we can turn it, right? Because I feel like a lot of people don't try to take that emotion and use it to inspire those who are envious and jealous. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
We it's almost like an ego stroke, like, oh yeah,
Yes.
they hating on me, woo, woo. But I feel like it's better exercise your influence when you actually take that jealous emotion and say, look, ain't no need for you to be hating with me, mad at me, whoop, whoop, whoop. I can put you on the same play I'm on. I can put you on some money just like I'm making, because they print it. It's enough out here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the sooner that we understand that as a people, the jealousy emotion should dissipate. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no reason for you to be jealous when the U.S. Mint, they print money right now as we speak.
day.
So you can make just as much as she making, if not more, but you got to assert yourself to do it. And hating ain't the way to do it, you know. So let's kind of piggyback on the first question. So you said it's the fact that the jealousy and you outgrew your home base, but how did that motivate you? How did LA motivate you? How does Houston, the time that you've been there, how is it motivating you? Because these are two cities where movers and shakers move to.
Right.
If you don't got no hustle about you, if you don't got no initiative, you won't make it in Houston or LA. So how have you used that in these two settings to inspire you as an entrepreneur and as a hustler, period?
Yeah, so I'll start with Houston. So moving to Houston, it put a pep in my step to, you know, grow even further, because coming out here, I was technically starting over.
Yeah.
Like, I did have a brand going. I had, you know, still had my cars, but I lost all my clientele. I had a lot of clientele in LA when it came to my car rentals. Like, clientele wasn't an issue, especially since I grew up in LA. So it was very, very easy for my my brand and my business to blow up, because people, so, you know, although there was hate, there was also support. So then moving out to Houston, though, I lost that clientele. I don't know anybody in Houston. I built my brand in LA, so it forced me to hustle even more, right? So when I came to LA, I was, to be honest, like, nervous. I didn't know how it was gonna go. I just knew that it was something that I needed to do. Right. And so once I did get to Houston, I'm like, okay, I gotta get to work. So that was when I got 2 Airbnbs out here. which also helped grow my brand because now I can teach people and inspire people to get
Yep.
into Airbnb. I knew that I had to get my clientele up. So just networking is huge to success. So I was able to network with someone out here in Houston who already has an established car rental business.
Mm-hmm.
So now we share clientele. Like he brings me clients.
Cross
I'm able,
promotion.
cross promotion. I'm
That's
able
the
to
best.
broker his cars, meaning if I don't have a car available, I can hit him up. Hey, what? His name is BR. BR, what cars you have available? I have a Jeep Cherokee for $90 a day, right? If someone hits me up and I don't have any cars, I could be like, I have a Jeep Cherokee for $100 a day. So
And
I
you
put
said,
my price on top of that.
there you go.
So that it opened my mind to different ways to hustle and just like I had no choice. I put myself in an uncomfortable position to where I had no choice but to figure it out. And in the beginning it was scary, but it worked.
And
So.
like Nip say, because we keep him on the wall, so I always quote Nip, but he said you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that's what you did, right? And it's beautiful that you put yourself in a situation that you were uncomfortable, that you couldn't rely on your comfort zone or your
Right.
network or your resources of people that you used to in LA. So without you having that comfort zone to kind of rely on, it's forcing you to either like you got to get to
Sink
it,
or
you got to
swim.
grind, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
for you to be able to put that pressure on yourself and it turned into what it's turned into, that's definitely something that's admirable. It's worth acknowledging and appreciating, and it's definitely motivational. And I'm glad that you're here to tell people about that, because I'm sure it's a lot of people who are watching that are kind of in the same predicament.
right.
Because a lot of people have just moved to Houston, right? Because
Right.
it's a city with tons of opportunity.
Mhm.
So if you don't know anybody here, take a page out of her book. She gave you the game. Hey, whenever you remove yourself from your comfort zone, it's just gonna amp that hustle and that initiative and that go getter in you
Mhm.
to go and accomplish what it is you're trying to accomplish. So sometimes you gotta remove yourself from your comfort zone in order to get what it is that you really aspire to attain in life. So on that note, man, let's jump into the second question. So, like I said, I have been watching your IG page a lot. And I noticed that you said you got kicked out of your parents' house. You were sleeping in cars. A lot of people, that circumstance would have just crushed them, right? Like they would have been deteriorated off of those two things. How did you allow that circumstance and situation to motivate you to start your Airbnb business and your rental car business?
Yeah, so don't get me wrong, I was definitely crushed. At the
So
time,
she was crushed. You know
I
what I'm
was
saying?
crushed.
She gonna cry when she get in the car. It's all good. You know
I
what
was
I'm saying?
crushed. And it took a while for me to get out of that. So, I did get kicked out of my parents' house. I a little
Why?
bit.
Why? We want to know why.
So I always grew up in. So my parents are from a third world country.
Okay.
So they're from a country called Belize. So
Okay.
I grew up in a very, very conservative, traditional, extremely strict household. Being the first girl to Caribbean parents, I don't feel many people might not understand, but I grew up in probably an overly strict
You have
environment.
brothers, sisters?
I have a twin brother and a little sister,
Okay.
but I'm the first girl. So
Super hard on you, huh?
they were super hard on me. I feel like I missed out a lot on my like childhood, high school, even early college years because I just wasn't. It was so many rules, right? So COVID came around, and my parents were extremely fearful of COVID. So
Are they older?
yeah,
Are your parents
they're a
older?
lot
Okay.
older. So my parents are like 60 years old.
Okay.
So when COVID came around, the rules got even stricter because of COVID. So all they really wanted me to do was go to work and come home. So one day I decided to. I really just wanted to hang out with my friends. So I never did anything wrong. So I went against their wishes as far as not leaving the house, and I left anyway. It was an argument before I left the house, but I left anyway. And when I tried to return, I couldn't return.
That's
So
it.
I had to figure out a way. So in the beginning, I stayed at a hotel until I could afford it, and
What
then
hotel did you stay in LA? Because you gotta be, my mama from LA. You gotta be real skeptical. That you gotta be cautious on what hotel you staying in LA. You
right,
can't
right.
just stay at any and every hotel. So what did you kind of go to, like Culver City or like?
I was
What?
by the airport.
Okay. Oh, so you good? You good
Yeah,
by the airport? You
I
good by
never stayed
LAX?
at no janky
Okay.
hotel. But then when I couldn't afford a hotel, it was nights where I had to sleep in my car. Um, there were times where I would have to ask friends at the time, can I sleep on your couch, on the floor? I'll sleep wherever I could lay my head. So it was difficult at the time. And then I had a job, but I ended up getting fired from that job. So it was just like at a certain point in my life, everything was just going wrong.
Yeah.
So once I got fired, though, that's what pushed me into entrepreneurship because now I have no income coming in.
Got you.
So, and that's also how I got into Toro. I had a car note at the time, and I was just trying to figure out how I can pay my car note since I no longer had income. So I was watching YouTube videos and I had heard about Toro, so I tried to put that car on Toro and it worked. I was able to pay my car note. It gave me a little change on top of that to put in my pocket. And the only thing that I had at that time was good credit. So I then at the time and
Message. Y'all
right
heard
here,
what she
here's the
said?
message.
Good credit.
So it took me, I had good credit at the time, thank God. I didn't have a job or much money, but I had good credit. And it did take me to feel like I had nothing else to lose to leverage my credit, right? A lot of people are scared of debt, right? But there is a difference between good debt and bad debt. And you don't have to reach the bottom to understand that you can leverage your credit.
That's just what it took you in order to
exactly. It took me like, you know what? I don't have nothing else to lose. Like, if I leverage my credit and it goes left, so what? I'm gonna still be in the same position I am in anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what it took me, but it doesn't have to take you guys all of that to do it. So
let me interject for just a quick second.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like that, I feel like as a culture, that's kind of how we move, right? Like Black people, or I can just say the urban culture. I just won't target Black people, right? But I feel like we're more reactive than proactive, right? Like we make those moves when our back is against the wall and we have nothing else to do but that move, right?
Exactly.
And then it can manifest into something great. But as opposed to you being reactive, understanding that you have good credit initially, why don't you be proactive? And maybe that could have shortened the learning curve, right? So I just feel like as a people, we need to be more proactive in our movements and our everyday actions as opposed to reactive, right? Play offense, don't play defense.
Exactly. So yeah, pretty much. So don't wait till you feel like you have nothing to lose. But what was I saying?
So you were saying about you put the car on there, you was able to pay the car note, put money in your pocket, and that's dope. So I also want to ask you this. I kind of want to segue off it for a minute. So that was your car, the only way of transportation, and you put it on Turo. So like, how did you move around? Like, how was you getting around?
Well, I didn't really have to move around because I didn't have no job. So I was just to me at that point it didn't matter for me to get around. Like I was in survival mode. So
as long as the car note was paid,
as long as
some money in your
exactly,
pocket.
I didn't care what. Like I mean, I was trying to do the best that I could for me at the time, but I was trying to build back up, and I knew that. Again, here's another lesson: it takes sacrifices. So that was a sacrifice that I had to make. I had to sacrifice my personal vehicle in order to potentially get out of the situation that I was in. So then I had good credit. So me seeing that it was working with the car that I already had, it gave me the courage to go get another car. So I was able to use my credit to go get another car, and I got a Mercedes C300. That was my second car. And then I was feeling great. Like I had, 2 cars at the time. I thought I was,
So what was your living situation like at that time? So you got 2 cars on Turo. Where are you living now? Now you got some income coming in. Where are you still living in a hotel? Did your parents open the doors back up? Like, hey, you can come back. Like, what was that like?
I was still bouncing around.
Okay.
So I was bouncing around. So I was still trying to figure it out on my own. Hotel, car, someone's house, whatever.
But you making money though.
I was
so
making
now
money.
You're not tripping. Yeah.
So I'm not really tripping. I know now that I have something that I can build upon.
Yeah.
Right. So then I started with that. Started renting that out. Now I have 2 cars and they're both working. I'm able to. The 2 cars are not only paying itself, it's paying me as well. So then I just started getting more cars, and then I got to the point where it pretty much replaced the job that I lost, and I was able to get my own apartment. So
let me get this straight. So I'm gonna go down this timeline with you.
Yeah.
So you were able to start a business with absolutely no liquid, all credit.
No,
Y'all
that's
hear what she said, right? So don't. It's no longer an excuse saying, "Well, I don't have that money," or "I don't have this, I don't have that." As long as you have good credit, you have money. Credit is OPM, like Dom Kennedy say. It's other people money.
other people.
So you want to spend other people money before you spend yours, and pay the credit card company back, which is ultimately going to reflect on your credit bureau, and it's going to raise your credit score. So, man, she just leveraged her credit.
Mm-hmm.
She had no liquid funds in the bank, and she actually turned her credit into liquid finances and a liquid funds, right? That now she can put into her bank account, and it was all off of the knowledge. That's all I'm understanding, right? The knowledge that you knew that, boom, I can leverage my credit, go buy me a car because this working, I can go get me another one, and not only are they both paying for themselves, so I'm not paying a car note, but this also paying me,
Right.
all off the dribble on the credit.
Right. And
That's
I think
crazy.
in our culture, where like I was taught that never use your credit unless it's an emergency, or but prior to this, I never used my credit really. I had a credit card, but I wouldn't really use it because fear was placed into me when it came to credit.
And it was placed to you by who?
My family,
Your
my parents,
right?
Right.
And it's the same thing because
Yeah.
our parents come from the baby boomer generation to where their parents were descendants of the Great Depression. So their mentality is get a job, work hard, save money, right? They scared to use credit cards. My grandmother, I work for Mercedes, and my grandmother came and bought a car for me like 2 years ago. And my grandma, she raised me. We grew up in the hood. So I never associated her with like stellar credit, like A1 credit, right? I ran her credit. My grandma had like a 780 credit score. Crazy.
I'm glad you said that because I didn't realize how good my credit was until I tried to use it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people out here probably watching this are sitting on good credit
and don't know it.
So
you sitting on money.
Or don't know what to do with it. So, and that's why I also use my social media platform to now teach people, especially within our community, about credit. So I'll break it down to people who still are hesitant, right? So I use my car, or I use the bank's money to get these cars, right? Obviously, I have a car note on these vehicles that I have to pay the bank back, right? But I'm putting it on Turo, which is a car rental site, right? And I'm able to rent it out, and it's bringing enough income to where I can pay those car notes, not only pay the car note, but put money in my pocket. So the debt is paying itself. So I do want the people to understand that there is a difference between good credit and bad credit.
So you have an ROI, you have a return on your investment. So most cars are considered, they're not considered assets.
Right.
A car is considered a depreciating commodity. It's something that you use every day, but it's going to lose value every day.
Exactly.
But you've managed to turn a depreciating commodity into an asset by leveraging your credit. Yeah. That's fucking phenomenal. And not only did you do that, now you're able to enlighten other people on how to leverage credit, right? Because I feel like in our culture, and I'm sure you can agree, that a lot of people in our culture are ignorant to how to just use credit, right?
Yes.
It's not, they haven't been exposed to, good credit, how to use it, pay availability, all of that stuff, right? So that is a really big deterrent on how far we can get in life. Because when you look at other cultures that are affluent, credit is a major, major key into their ascension of creating generational wealth.
Right.
So it's dope that I have you on here to just give brief insight on how valuable credit is versus spending your money every day. So you should be actually swiping a credit card more than you swipe your debit card.
If you have a debit card, you should throw it away. So, but you have to be responsible, right? So the reason why I say, and a lot of people are probably going to be like, what is she talking about? Because a lot of people use their debit card.
Of course.
But the reason why you shouldn't use your debit card is, one, with credit cards, not only you get rewards points, so you get paid for spending the same amount of money that you would on your debit card, right? Two, it protects you better from fraud. So if somebody were to somehow steal money from your credit card, you're automatically,
because it's protected by the government.
Right? They're going to be more willing to get their own money back versus your money. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So those are two top reasons why you want to use your credit card. And yes,
explain it to them again. What's the top two reasons to use a credit card?
One, credit card, you're getting paid to use it with the same things that you would be spending on with your debit card. So rewards points. And that's how people take free flight. They're able, once they rack up enough rewards points, pay a bill. And then it's better protection from fraud. So you're guaranteed to get your money back from fraud with
Credit card.
credit card, right? So yes, you have to be responsible. Make sure you pay it off every single month. You don't want to accumulate the debt. So you have to be responsible enough to pay that every month. So instead of paying it with your debit card every purchase, you're just holding on to the money until the end of the month and paying off that credit
And this
card.
is what's crazy. I want to piggyback off of that. This is what's dope, right?
Mhm.
With the debit card, whenever you spend that or swipe it, you're not incentivized, right? Like once you swipe that debit card, that
That's
money is
it.
just coming out of your account. Like
Yeah.
you're not incentivized. But your credit card, once you pay it back, you're incentivized because once you pay it back and you lower that balance, what does it do? It raises your credit score. So it works in your favor. It's advantageous to use a credit card because you can swipe, you spend other people's money, it's protected, it protects your own financials in your bank account, in your checking or savings account. And not only that, once you pay it back, you raise your credit score to ultimately allow you to have a bigger balance and a bigger spending limit, right? Because they once they say, oh damn, $10,000 credit limit, he's paid every credit card note on time, let's give him 20,000.
Exactly. So if you're not using your credit card, they have no reason to give you more money. So if you're actually actively using your credit card, they're just going to throw money at you. You don't even have to ask for credit increases. They're just going to see that you're actively using the card, and they're going to be like, "Oh, he's responsible. He's paying on time. Let me give him more money." So
And it's more of other people's money, so you
Yeah.
can spend more of other people's money and save more of your own.
exactly.
And that's the knowledge that we need as a culture to create generational wealth. I feel like that's the biggest, you know, that's the biggest caveat in what's keeping us from attaining our goals. Right? Is understanding credit. Whenever you spend other people's money to get what it is that you want to get and save yours, when you look back in that savings account, you're gonna be like, damn, I stacked $50,000 that quick.
Right.
Damn, I stacked $70,000 that quick. And now you can afford to get these assets that can afford you luxuries, right? Because it's all about the checks and balances of everything, right? You want to use credit to build your own wealth and establish your own wealth. Man, that's
Yep.
we needed this today. I know because hey, like I say, tax season right around the corner. Y'all about to get that big refund check. Don't spend it. Go get you a credit card. Go get you a business line of credit and spend other people's money and stack that. Stack that.
Exactly. I never spend my own money. I'm using other. Well, I'd rather take your money, please.
Exactly.
So
OPM.
yeah, OPM.
That's it,
Yeah.
man. That's the rule. We doing OPM all 2023. We ain't
Yes.
spending our money. We stacking our money and we spending everybody else's. And the beautiful it was another thing that you mentioned, right? With the credit card, it gives you perks, right? So I know you have certain credit cards that give you travel reward points, free hotel stays. A lot of people like to travel. Traveling is like in now, right? So why don't you leverage your credit to pay for the vacations that you want to pay for, right? Like you can have your hotels paid for, you can have your flight paid for. So whenever you're actually at these destinations like the Maldives, Jamaica, Mexico, everybody going, now you have more money to do things and enjoy that vacation more as opposed to being strapped like, damn, I had to pay for the flight, I had to pay for the hotel, we did all-inclusive resort, I had to pay for that, and transportation to and from. So now I don't really have money to do the excursions, the zip lining, the yacht tours, this and that, right? Because you just had just enough just to make the vacation. But if you leverage that credit, a lot of those expenses
Be paid for.
they pay for. So that's another benefit of credit, man. So this turned into like a credit. Like, let me find out you came to like promote the credit course that you teaching real quick, cause
I do credit repair.
Credit repair. Hey, let's go, man. Let's go. So look, how does one get started in finding a good property or apartment to start an Airbnb journey, and how do you secure funding to get that started? And we kind of answered that second question, but I'll let you keep going
for
on
Airbnb. So there's 3 ways that you can get into Airbnb, right? That's owner, if you go out and purchase a home. But the great thing about or a unit or a condo or whatever. But the great thing about Airbnb is you don't have to own anything.
Yeah.
You can do what is called rental arbitrage or subleasing, which is what I do. So that takes corporate leases, or you can present it as a partnership to a potential landlord or homeowner, right? So let's say you're a homeowner and I want to rent your house out. I'm going to come to you and present myself as a company. So, hello, I'm Turner Reynolds LLC. I have a property management company, and I would like to rent out your property to my clients. These clients are normally business professionals who just need a place to stay. The benefits of working with me is you'll get your rent on time. Daily cleanings on your property, right? Because Airbnb, you got to do cleaning after every guest. Less wear and tear on your appliances because most of our guests are either here to work or they're here to experience Houston.
So they're not in the house using the appliances all day.
Yes. And what else? I'm going to protect your property by having security cameras, aka ring cameras, noise detection systems inside of the unit, which will detect the noise levels on the inside of the property. So I know if they're not only does it detect the noise level, but it detects how many people are inside, how many cell phones are inside of the unit.
Wow.
So I'll know
how many, you'll have a good idea how many people are inside
yeah,
of the property.
So I'll know if there's a party in there or something going on.
She giving y'all game. So if y'all throwing Airbnb, y'all throwing parties at these Airbnbs around the city, they got this technology that can ping how many cell phones in there. So, hey, she giving y'all some game. Y'all better listen.
And not only that, I will vet every person that comes into your property, meaning I only allow guests who I can verify their identity, meaning, and I do this through Airbnb, they verify the phone number, the email, and I also make sure that they have other reviews from past stays, right? Because Airbnb, the guests
so it's almost like a credit history. Like you're able to check their profile to see how well they did with other properties in the past.
Exactly. So I just presented to you a homeowner who needs a tenant in there, right? I just presented that was 6 reasons as to why you should allow me to rent out your property, right? And so as a landlord or owner, it sounds great. Like not only will you be getting your rent on time every single month, you have all these potential benefits for working with my company, right? And then sometimes you can also offer a percentage of the business. So on top of me paying the rent every month, I'll offer you 10% of the profit every month, just so that you can allow me to rent out.
That's how you secure the business.
How you secure the property.
The business,
So that's subleasing, rental arbitrage. So you don't have to go out and own any property.
I have a question on that. Because like we were talking before the interview, I was telling you I had interest in the Airbnb, but the thing that I ran across a lot was a lot of the high rises and mid rises in Houston. They are completely against subleasing, right? So how do you get around that? Like, what's the workaround for that?
So unfortunately, if they don't allow corporate leasing, or there's just nothing you can really do about it, right? That it is what it is. So I mean, people do it the wrong way, I guess, which is a risk
until they get caught.
They get caught.
That's a part of hustling. So
it's a part of hustling. So I'm not telling anybody to do it. But
wink, wink.
But just understand the risk, right? If you are going to do that, you want to make sure that normally high rises, it's very difficult to do it because I've looked at high rises as well. You want to look for condos or units or apartments, whatever you're looking for, that to where the guest does not have to interact or be anywhere near the front desk or the leasing office, right? So I've done it that way and been successful, because the guest would. The way that the apartment is set up, they just have to go directly to the unit. They don't have
to walk through the front to get to the elevator for like, well, why are you walking in that apartment? That's not who lives here.
Or they don't have to walk through the front, and then the person at the front sees that they have suitcases. Like obviously you don't live here. Yeah. So I'm not recommending anybody to do it, but just throwing that out there.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. That's all I'm saying, And even if you do get caught, that time that you were able to function and operate, you'll gain the knowledge and the information, and that's what's most beneficial. So let me ask you this: you've been here for how long? Have you been in Houston now? You said 5 months. I know you know some of the properties that are for the Airbnb. So give my people out here who watching, give us like 1 or 2 properties in Houston that accept Airbnb subleasing.
So I'm not gonna do that. But what I'm gonna do.
This the second episode where I've been trying to pry some game out my guests, and they ain't got nothing to give. You must got a course. You got a course or
I do have an Airbnb course.
There you go.
But even in the course, I don't give out the properties. But
because that's the game, right?
That's the game. That's the game. But
I tried, y'all. But I'm working for y'all, bro. Somebody gonna give me something one day. I'm working for y'all, man.
I'll give you guys some advice on that.
Okay, we'll take the advice if we can get the property name.
So
at least tell us, is it on the north side or is it on the south side?
I'm still like trying to
Oh,
figure
you
out
trying to figure
Houston,
out? She
but
don't even
it's
know.
Upper Kirby area.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hey, just hop in the whip, just ride around Upper Kirby, y'all. It's one over there.
Yeah. So but my advice to you guys is you want to reach out to a bunch of realtors, as many realtors as possible. Not
Okay.
every realtor will be able to help you, but trust me, there are, and I've done it. So reach out to as
Is
many.
that a conflict of interest though, in a sense, right? Because the realtor is trying to secure a tenant in whatever building, but you're trying to you got your own agenda. So isn't that work relationship kind of?
So they're going to help you find condos or units or whatever you're looking for that accept corporate leases.
Gotcha.
So then that they'll have a list of apartments for you that allow it.
That allow it. Gotcha.
So like I said, you want to reach out to as many realtors as possible, because not every realtor is going to say yes.
Yeah.
Not every realtor does corporate leases. So,
Okay.
but you're going to come across one eventually. Just keep reaching out. Don't be discouraged by the no's. You will find one that does, because I did. Yeah. So,
how long did it take you to secure your first property?
Probably a month after being in Houston. It didn't take too long.
30 days.
Yeah.
Where was that's Upper Curry area that you're talking about? That's dope.
I'm gonna just say, I'll give a general area. It's about 5 minutes from NRG Stadium.
And that's super beneficial to me, because during the Texans, during the football season, obviously, how often are you booked during football season?
Right now I have I'm not a football person, so I don't even know if we're in football season. But I'm in an area to where not only am I by the stadium, but I'm around a whole bunch of other attractions
and boutiques and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. But my rental property is 70% occupied.
So you booked and busy.
I'm booked and busy.
So if we wanted to stay there and throw a little party or something, you know what I'm saying? You probably booked until what?
I'm booked right now. I'm booked all of February. So probably you got to catch me sometime in March or April.
So you're telling me it took you 30 days. You're not even from here. You're from LA. You came all the way from the West Coast to Houston. 30 days, got your first Airbnb. And now is it profitable?
Yes,
or it's profitable?
It's profitable.
Man, 30 days.
Even on a slow season is coming to an end.
Okay. Because the weather about to get warmer, we're getting into spring.
Exactly. So every business is going to have
a slow season.
Fluctuation, up and down, slow season. So it's coming to an end. So I'm already getting bookings from March, April, May. So yeah, the thing about Airbnb is it's all about location. People want to say that Airbnb is dead. It's not dead. It's just you got to find the right location, right? Like I said, I'm by the Galleria, I'm by NRG Stadium, I'm by Camp, I'm by the Houston Zoo.
You by where the vicinity where everybody want to be.
Exactly.
And the things people want to do.
So find your target audience. Your target audience can be college students, so that means you would be around universities. Your target audience can be travel nurses, so that means be around hospitals. Your target audience can be tourists, so be around attractions like I am.
The zoo, Discovery Green, stuff like that.
And also, another recommendation is don't get an Airbnb based on what you like. So, just because you like high-rise condos, right? Don't go out and go get a high-rise condos, because you're going to learn the hard way that it don't work too well unless you find one that allows it. So
what would you recommend as far as an initial startup property? What would be something that could suffice, a person being able to manage the expenses of that until it becomes profitable?
So I always recommend a minimum of 2 beds, because the more beds that you have, the more that you can charge. So that can be a home or apartment unit, which is I have 2 apartment units. Okay. I want to get into a house. But you can do a house. It's pretty much the same. Like I said, you don't have to buy a house. You could sublease a house, rent a house. It's the same process as trying to get an apartment.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
That's dope. So let's segue into Toro. So you told me how you started it. How is it going as far as your transition coming from LA to Houston? How has the demographic or the clientele base, how's it different here versus there? Obviously, you don't know many people here. And how well are you doing now with the Turo? Obviously, the Airbnb is going phenomenal. How's the Turo doing?
So the Turo is still going. Well, so I teach Turo on my platform, but I operate as a private rental company now.
Got
So you
so you're
couldn't
not
find
even
me.
going through
Yeah,
Turo
you
no
couldn't
more.
find me on Turo.
You cut the middleman out.
Cut the middleman out.
Hey,
So
word to Nip.
I'm make a lot more money that way. But it's been good. I feel like in LA the weather is always great.
Yeah.
So for me in LA it was like almost year round good business. Out here, you know, the weather's cold, stuff like that. So it's again same thing that I noticed with Airbnb. We're in the slow season, but we're picking up. And like I said, I was able to build a partnership once I got out here. So I've had no issues renting out my cars. I've still been able to make those payments and add money in my pocket as well. I actually have several cars, but I have a Toyota Camry. It's been gone for like 2 months now. I haven't seen it.
That's
She
crazy.
pays me faithfully for $400 every week. So I'm making $1,800
And
off.
what's the car note?
The car note is a little under $400. So I'm making my car note in the first week. So that means I'm pocketing about
Message. Y'all heard that? Say it one more time, because I know it's a little cold outside. You know, we drinking champagne. But I thought I heard you say the car note is $400 and you make $1,800. So that means you in the green $1,400.
Yeah.
Off a Toyota Camry.
Minus like the
Expenses
insurance and stuff like that, I would between $1,100 to $1,200 in my pocket from one car.
A Toyota Camry. She didn't say a Maserati, a Mercedes, a BMW. She said a Toyota Camry. What year?
It's an 18.
Oh, and it's an 18. It's a 5-year-old car that's bringing her almost $1,100, $1,200 profit every month.
Yeah.
We don't have no excuse, man. The opportunities are there. You just gotta want to go and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. So now, so you got a Toyota Camry. That, hey, man, look, hey, we about to go get us a car, Los. We about to go get us a Toyota Camry and turn up. What's up, Dre?
And,
you know what I'm saying? Hey, this the car guy right here. Too. Look, I know you piquing his interest right now.
Yeah,
so you came to Houston with how many cars in your fleet?
So when I made the decision to move from LA to Houston, I got rid of like 3 cars. So I came to Houston with 2 cars, but now I have 3. And then, like I said, I was able to build a relationship with someone who already has an established business out here in Houston.
So you're able to outsource as well.
I'm able to outsource his cars. Like I said, I just add my price on top of what he wants for his whatever car he has. So I have 3 cars of my own, but I have access to like minimum 10 cars.
So give me where do you see your business, your Turo business? Well, I can't say Turo because you're not on Turo. Your rental car business, your Airbnb business. Where do you see it here in the next, let's say, year?
In the next year, so right now my focus as far as the cars, I'm okay with the cars that I have now. I'm more focused on getting to the next level, meaning I'm trying to get some exotic cars. Like, I'm no longer interested in getting Toyotas,
domestics,
the regular cars, right? I've been there, done that. I already have access to them. I have some of my own, and they make me decent money. But I'm trying to 10x my income. So I want the Lamborghinis, the Bentleys, the cars that I could charge 500 plus a day. So that's my focus right now, and I hope that I can get there by the end of the year. If not, it's a goal of mine within the next 2-3 years.
2-3 years.
So and I'm really close to it. I know I just got to put in a couple, some more work. I feel like I've already accomplished and dominated in just with the regular cars. You know what I mean?
And just in the time span, right? Because it's all about efficiency whenever you're doing anything in life. You want to be efficient. So the fact that you were able to accomplish as much as you've accomplished within a span of 5 months, it's not even been half a year. And you already prospering in a new city. If that's not inspiration and motivation, I don't know what is. So for you to scale that, I'm excited to see you scale it over the course of 24 months, because what you did in 5 months is amazing.
Yeah, sometimes, I just be moving so fast and working. Sometimes I don't even take the time to realize what I have accomplished. But
and that's how you know you're really working.
Yeah.
Right? When you don't have time to acknowledge, where you've come versus where you started, that's how you know that you got tunnel vision.
Yeah, I do. Most definitely, because, now that you're bringing it up to me, like, I've seen that I've had a lot of growth, but I'm not where I want to be yet.
You focus on where you know you can be. Right?
So the what I've accomplished is great, but
it's more work to do.
It's more
like
work
Kobe,
to
like
do.
Kobe say, the job not done.
Exactly.
The job is not done yet.
sometimes I know I'm inspirational to a lot of people because I started, like I said, with nothing. Like I lost my job, got kicked out my house, so I'm very grateful for where I am today. Don't get me wrong, but it's just so much more work, especially when you surround yourself. And I feel like another key to success is surrounding yourself with people who are doing better than you. So now
Say it again.
surround yourself with people that's doing better than you. So
Man.
I have people in my circle that are doing better than me.
Yeah.
So although I'm doing great, I'm not doing as good as
They are.
they are. So it's like a constant like trying to get to the next level.
Yeah. And it's a thirst for the knowledge, right? Because
Yep.
I've heard another testament to a mentor of mine. He said, if you feel as though you're the dumbest person in the room, you're in the right room. If you feel like you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
And that's how I be feeling. I be feeling like, damn, I feel like I don't know nothing. Because
But it works. It's so productive, right? Because it makes you, like, as soon as you leave that environment, it makes you want to go like dig and search for knowledge. Like
Exactly.
you want to tighten your game up. Like, damn, they was talking about some shit I didn't even know nothing about. Let me go read them. Let me go research that shit.
Exactly. Or like I'll have, my circle is so great. Like we'll talk to each other on a daily basis, and they'll be like, guess what? I made 20K today. You made what today? You made 20K today? And I'm like, dang, I only made 5 today. Like, you know what I mean?
I gotta figure out how to bridge that gap.
Exactly.
See,
So,
and that's dope. Cause me and my bro, we do that in the fitness aspect, right? Cause
Right.
we trying to work on our little summer bodies and stuff. So we like, damn, did you work out today, motherfucker? Like,
Yeah.
I worked out. Send me an updated picture. You know that.
Exactly.
So if we can do this for things like fitness, right? We can group text to book a trip to go somewhere or to go to the club, or we can come together collectively to put money in to get a section to go spend money and waste money. Why can't we do these? Have this same mentality to monetize ideas and opportunities, right? Because that's what you want to surround yourself. You want to have a network of people to where you text and they're like, hey, man, I just made $15,000 profit today on my business. What you made today? Right.
Exactly.
And that's good competition.
It's great competition. And, like I said, an important factor to success is sacrifice. So you're going to have to sacrifice family, friends, because I can't go and tell certain people, hey, guess what? I made 5,000 today, because they're going to feel like
you bragging.
I'm bragging,
Yeah.
right? So, and it's not going to be productive. It's not going to be a productive conversation. So you definitely have to sacrifice certain friends and certain people and certain environments and situations.
Like Deion Sanders said, he said, don't let my confidence, intimidate you.
Exactly.
Right?
And I hate the word humble. I hate the word humble.
Why?
Exactly. Because you telling me to be humble means I'm making you uncomfortable because of what I've accomplished or what I believe in that I can do. Why do I have to
humble myself,
belittle lower myself, or be
not
more
radiate, not stand in my glory? I'm gonna stand in my glory. And the thing about it, and it's funny that you say that, because we've hit our full circle moment. When we initially started the conversation, we said that you have to make yourself uncomfortable in order to get to and ascend to the things that you want to ascend to. So the fact that you're able to make somebody feel uncomfortable, that they've already taken that first step in order to become successful. They just don't realize it yet. Yep. And that's why they want you to like scale it back. Like, nah, scale that shit back, bro. Like, you making me feel weird.
Exactly.
But you got to feel that feeling in order to start to attain the levels of success that you want to attain in life.
Exactly.
So plug us in, man, because you done gave us a bunch of good game. Plug us in. I'm sitting at home. I'm watching this interview. I'm a 26-year-old single mom. My credit score is 576, but I have big aspirations to start an Airbnb business. Where do I start?
One, get your credit fixed, because credit is the foundation to everything. No matter what you want to get into, whether that is Airbnb, Turo, it don't matter. You need the funding, especially, like I said, that's all I had was credit, right? So the first step is get your credit, invest in credit repair. I do credit repair. Y'all don't even have to get credit repair with me. Just go and get your credit fixed,
but
please.
Ain't nobody else here but you, so we're going to plug your credit repair business. So tell them where they can reach you as far as if they want to get their credit fixed.
So you can follow me on Instagram at Miss Turner. It's MISSS. That's 3 S's .Turner. And the link is in my bio to sign up for my credit repair. Right now, I'm having a special offer for only $300 because I reached 30K followers.
Hey, let's clap it up for the 30K followers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working for y'all again. So she's doing a special because she reached 30K followers on
Yeah.
Instagram. What about a Black History special? Can we get a Black History Month special like on top of that?
It's
like,
the same special.
Oh, it's just, oh man, I'm trying, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying
It's the
to
same special.
get as much as I can for y'all for as little as
Yeah.
possible, man. But
But
they
for Black
tight.
History, I do have a mentorship, guys. So it's normally $2,500. If you tell me that you saw me on Social Currency Podcast, I'll let you in my mentorship for $997. It's normally $2,500.
Whoa, hey,
So-
see, hey, the savings is, hey, see, hey, it's ringing the bell now. So if
Yeah.
just mention, hit her up, MISSS, that's 3 S's, .Turner on Instagram. Tell her that you saw the interview on the Social Currency Podcast, and she gonna give you a mentorship that's originally how much?
$2,500.
For $997. Not
Yeah.
even $1,000. Like she gave y'all like an off number, like $997, just to show y'all how much love she giving. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
It's
that's-
love day.
That's love because, like I said, I have one Toyota Camry, a regular car that anybody can get access to. I make $1,200 in profit a month, and that's just off
Even
one
the car
thing.
you driving now. If you tired of paying your
Exactly.
car note
Yeah.
right now, if you tired of paying that $400 for that 2017 Mercedes that you got with 100-some thousand miles on it, just put it on Toro and it'll pay for itself, and it could ultimately become profitable and put money in your pocket and not only pay the car note. So
Exactly.
you don't even have to have the extra money to go and buy a car. Put your car on. That's how she started.
That's how I started.
And now she
it's-
done turned up.
It's people out there that might be your only car, but like I said, success takes sacrifice, right? So
So we got the mentorship. If you mention the Social Currency Podcast, you get it for $997. We also have the credit repair class. How much is that again? The credit repair course?
right now, limited time offer for February is $300. So
$300 because she hit 30K on social media, and it's Black History Month, so we showing love. You know what I'm saying? You can find her at MISSS.Turner. That's 3 S's. Man, did I hit everything? I think I hit everything. So just shout out. Tell them, give them some more game before we go. I think that's it, though.
I
You
think
done
I
gave out so
gave
much.
all the game. Guys, just don't be scared to go out there and get the information, because I think a lot of people, especially within our community, they just want to get to the money.
That's
like,
it.
where's the money? Nah, it's 99 steps in between 100.
That's dope.
So you got to take those 99 steps, right? So when you go on my Instagram and a lot of other people's Instagrams, you see the end result. You see 100. Most of the time you don't see those.
You don't see the one from 99.
You didn't see when I was in the car. You didn't see when I was sleeping on the floor. You didn't see when I got kicked out of my parents' house. You didn't see when I got fired. So it's a journey, guys. So just take the journey.
And this is coming from a lady.
Yeah.
So fellas, we have no excuse. And ladies, you no longer have an excuse because you have an example, right, of what to do and what not to do. And too many times in our culture, we have examples of what not to do, right? We don't have, we don't have examples of what to do, right?
Right.
We didn't grow up in the most affluent situations to where our neighbors were doctors and lawyers and investors and on the stock market and things of that nature, right? To give us a good networking platform to ascend, right? We typically have to go through the trial and error phase.
Right.
It's no longer the case right here at the Social Currency Podcast because you no longer have an excuse because you have an example. Ladies, it can be done. She did it in the second largest city in America. So wherever you at in the country, it can be done. All you got to do is put that right foot in front of that left and take the first step to get it done. So, hey, again, before we let y'all go, I'm going to have her plug her Instagram, her socials one more time, her handles. Y'all make sure y'all follow her. Make sure y'all follow the Social Currency Podcast. Again, this is episode 5. We appreciate y'all. Ms. Turner, tell them where they can follow you at again.
You can follow me on Instagram at Miss Turner, MISS. That's 3 S's .Turner. All the information is in the link in my bio for mentorship, credit repair, whatever you need. So, or you can contact me in my DMs. So.
That's right. And again, until the next time, it's your boy K Mitch. This is another episode of the Social Currency Podcast where we can't change the past, but we can always change our perspective. Until next time, y'all. Boom. Yes, Sirski.
When you a diamond in the rough, bitch, all you need is time. I ain't lying. Look, hey, they don't wanna see you shine. Got on my grind, ran up my back and got a piece of mind. I ain't lying. Look, hey, they don't wanna see you shine. When you a diamond in the rough, bitch, all you need is time. I ain't lying. Look, hey, they don't wanna see you shine. Got on my grind, ran up my back and got a piece of mind. I ain't lying. Look, they don't wanna see you shine. These niggas know they can't fuck with me, but I see them trying. I ain't lying. Look, know it's my time, cause I can see the signs. Fuck all that waiting, got them hating, trying to lead the blind. I ain't lying. Look, it took a minute. minute, I'm back up in it. Push my focus to the limit, then got back to business. I swear it ain't no better feeling when you know you win it. I want the check cause my respect, my bag, I'm really in it. I ain't lying. Look, you know the motto, nigga, count it up. Full of ambition, so to me a lot is not enough. Stacking blue